Yo!
Damn, mazapán.
So today's a little bit of a different video. Right now in the background I have a clip of an endgame that I played the other day. To give some context, this is a solos raid game. Hey, why aren't you playing Sniper Aya? Good question. Hold that question for now, I will explain later on. What I want to do first is actually go over the endgame that I played, because I honestly think that it's a really good learning experience for me, and maybe for you guys. There was a lot of time for me to analyze this clip, and honestly, I really hope you guys can learn with me. As I've said before, I'm not exactly the best endgame player because I never get there, but when I do, it's like I freeze up and I start panicking. But in this one, I feel like I didn't panic as much as I did until some parts that I'm gonna explain. So at this point I have 3 kills. I'll tell you right now, those 3 kills were super boring, and that's my excuse for not recording them. And unfortunately, since I kept the Discord chat audible in the recording, you guys are gonna have to watch the clips with Valhalla music playing. Sorry. Also remember, this is a self-analysis. If I miss anything, please tell me in the comments. So first of all, I missed a camera, whatever. Second of all, this was a mistake. As you can see, my plan was to put a camera there, but I really shouldn't have gone there in the first place. After that, I maybe could have killed him if I held the W. If I want to get better at this game, I need to learn how to track people better. This was good. Before using my weapon skill, I try to make sure that all my cooldowns are up, well, excluding my ult. I make sure to use my Q at a weird time so that he doesn't retaliate, and immediately afterwards I use my weapon skill so that I can get my W back. Luke has no escape, which means I could use my ult whenever he uses his Q. It may have been a better idea for me to hold the ult, and my fully held ult may have killed him. It's another one of those things where I panicked and I wanted to get out of there. And if this last Q didn't kill him, that maybe would have been my end, even if I did have a dash. So face checking the bush ended up not being a mistake. Alright, let's fast forward through this because all I do is hide for a bit. So here I see a Jackie hop onto a Luke, and if you know anything about ranked modes, it's that you want to steal kills. I'll just go ahead and play the rest of the match without any commentary, and then I'll come back later. And again, sorry for the lack of sound. Alright, first of all, here I really thought she was giving me a thumbs up. I didn't realize that it was to the Yuki. So when I fell back and started attacking the chickens, I thought I was a little bit safe. That ended up not being the case when they were both running side by side at me. Honestly, if the Jackie kept going and didn't wuss out, they both would have actually gotten me, which is why I used my ult, because I was expecting them both to just walk into the bush. That also ended up not being the case, so I had these traps that I picked up from someone else earlier, and normally I'd use them for the last area, but since it was a 2v1, I just went for it. Thankfully, the Yuki didn't know what was going on and then dashed into my bombs. So I saw him use parry, and I thought he was trying to parry me, so I held off on my W, but instead he parried the bomb, which I don't know why I freaked out, but I kind of messed up my W angle, which almost cost me the fight, but it didn't, so. While looking back at it, it never really was going to. I probably could have ended off with Q, but oh well. Next note, sorry Bor, you die. There's a good chance you messed me up during the final fight, so you gotta leave. Crazily enough, this bomb hits both of them. Thankfully, this Jackie sidestepped into the building where I still had access to. If she sidestepped outside of the building, she would have gotten away from me. Not thinking, I just used my ult here hoping he would just run into it. See, and this is what I mean by messing me up. I accidentally click on the boar and I open up his corpse instead of moving. I panic again and I use my W in a weird angle. I dodge his Q hoping he wouldn't expect me to go inside the building. And here I stay at the doorway because I really wanted to bait him into going into my W, but obviously that was not the right decision. Instead of cancelling my W, I try to go behind him so that he gets hit by my W. Maybe if I just kept running instead of trying to turn around and Q, maybe I could have gone away with it. But anyways, that's just how the cookie crumbled. I ended up with 2nd place and I got 80 LP for that. Now here comes the second part of the video, which I just rant. I've fully given up on ranked. I've only played around 40 matches of ranked and I just can't do it. I mentioned in my first ranked video on how irrationally angry ranked modes in video games get me. Well, it's happened in this game also. I just care too much about that funny little number that goes up and down every time I win or lose a game. It's just crazy. The folly of being a one-trick pony is that I play a character that's not really competitively viable. The meta in ranked having it so that you have to kill people in order to get LP, like I get it, right? You have to kill people in order to prove that you're actually good enough to get to the next rank, whatever. But it's unfortunate for me because I play a character that's very, very weak early and late game. And by weak, I mean like can die in a couple of hits. Sure, I have evasion and sure I have damage late game, but after that, what do I have? If I evade a Luke trying to kill me early game, I just lose time. Luke stays strong and I stay weak. And if it's an area where I have to get some items from, I'm kind of forced to go to another area where I have to get different stuff. That sounds fun and all, I can rat, but what are the chances that someone notices that I don't have any weapon and just pass by me? Out of my 40 games, which I mean, granted is not too much, but still 40 games, right? At least 30 of those games I die in the first 10 minutes. Characters like Luke, Kathy, and Jackie are able to bully so hard. It's just, if you run into them, it's just not possible to find your items in that area. Again, that is, if they're good. So what does that mean for me? Well, I mean, I get the enjoyment of a ranked system. It gives you a purpose to play the game. Climbing a ladder feels so nice. Trust me, I know this for a fact. I did climb the ladder in Brawlhalla with the cost of my sanity. I don't think I'll ever go back to playing ranked seriously, but I feel like Nimble Neuron should fix how the ranked system works with the kills and stuff. It's kind of ridiculous. Oh, and to answer why I switched off of Sniper Aya, it's purely because of these reasons also. Except whenever I try to get a kill with Sniper Aya, I just can't catch up. No matter what path I go to get my weapon and my legs item first, they are always able to get away from me. And if they get close enough to me, I'm dead immediately. There's absolutely no escape except if there's a wall. And being a sniper means it's a slow burn. I have to harass someone for a long period of time, and if I don't kill them in that time, there's a very high chance someone either steals that kill or they end up running away and I just lost a lot of time. Sure, there's gonna be that one game that just feels so nice, the ones in this video being one of those, but in reality, it's just so difficult. It just feels like you gain so much LP just to lose it to someone abusing the fact that kills give absurd amounts of LP. But again, that's just me. If any of you have any problems with what I'm saying or anything like that, go in the comments below. It has to be constructive. I mean, if you say something like, you're wrong, and just not give a reason why, I'm just not gonna respond to you. I mean, all you're doing is helping me with the YouTube algorithm, so thanks I guess. But that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you